Hi everyone, let's talk about technology and innovation in food production. Some of you might see technology and innovation as one, but actually they are two separate things. Technology are tools, machinery, scientific methods that directly increase your food production and efficiency, so your physical factors behind food production, and innovation is the creative development and the transfer of new ideas, methods, and also improvements, may be transferring the ideas or developing technology. So these two things, you can see technology as the hands and innovation as the brains behind food production, and they are interlinked, as in you can innovate technology and you can spread the ideas of technology through innovation. So that's why I've kind of combined both of these ideas in all of them, because they are interlinked. But in the exams, make sure you note down the two distinctions between technology and innovation. So the Green Revolution is the introduction, the use, and also the spread of ideas of high-yielding varieties such as rice, wheat, and sorghum, the use of fertilizers, and also mechanization. What this does is the benefits, it increased traditional yields by 2 to 4 times. There's shorter growing season, so at the end, maybe you can squeeze in an extra crop to increase your food production. You have increased agricultural wages, so your farmers are well off, and it has an incentive for them to increase their production and produce more efficiently. Improvements to infrastructure as well, which allows more distribution, better distribution, so more people have access to food. However, a lot of the high-yielding varieties are susceptible to pests and disease, because they're often genetically very similar, and this means you need to put a lot of pesticides in them and also fertilizers to optimize your output. But this degrades your environment through eutrophication, and pesticides and fertilizers are also really expensive, which puts a lot of especially low wages farmers in debt, and that as a result breeds rural to urban migration, as along with mechanization putting a lot of farmers out of jobs. That breeds rural to urban migration because inequality rises, your environment is degraded, and you have mechanization losing jobs. And also, a lot of the high-yielding varieties lack nutrients that traditional fruits, vegetables, legumes that they provide, such as vitamin A and iron and zinc. So you might have malnutrition issues with the Green Revolution. Perennial crops such as apples and alfalfa are crops that can grow all year round, even during winter and after winter, and can be harvested multiple times a year. Whereas annual agriculture, you can grow it once, you harvest it, and you have to replant it, which wastes time and also a lot of money involved as well. Genetic modification, such as golden rice. Golden rice is rice with vitamin A added into it. You can also genetically modify crops to be pest resistant or disease resistant or drought resistant. So genetic modification has a lot of benefits with it. However, there is unknown side effects, and also it might develop super weeds. Super weeds are weeds that have adopted the characteristics of the pest or disease invulnerability, so that they can compete with your crops, and any pesticides or weed removal might be less effective. Irrigation is the controlled watering as compared to sprinklers. Sprinklers, you splatter water up. Mathematically, they water the closer to the sprinkler the most, and also the water is going up, a lot might be evaporated, so you're wasting water in the process. So you can have controlled dripping, so you drip the amount of water that is needed. You don't have excess, you don't have shortages, so you save water, and your crops are uniformly growing. Crop rotation, something like the Norfolk 4-crop rotation system, where you plant turnip and clover, which puts nutrients back into the soil, and also wheat and barley, which can feed your population, and then you rotate it. Turnip and clover can be used as fodder or grazing plants for your animals as well, and then you slaughter your animals for food. So this helps put nutrients back into the soil, it prevents soil exhaustion, and it also gives you increased food production with livestock and also crop agriculture. Greenhouses have controlled climates, so you might have the faster and also better growing of your food. Examples like Almeria, Spain, if you look in Google Maps or something, you can see it's just white because it's full of greenhouses. Selective breeding, so basically breeding the best animals you can, breeding the best cows, the most muscular cows, or the cows with the best milk or something, or maybe apples, the sweetest apple, the most aesthetically pleasing apples. Selective breeding can also help. Hydroponics is growing plants without soil, so you're using a nutrient-based water solution. So you don't need soil, so you can grow it in different areas which helps you with limited space issues. And these things are primarily focused on your growing crops, your agricultural wise, but also you can have things during your packaging, your processing process, the time in between your consumers eating the food and also your producers producing the food. You have fast freezing. So after you fish, you put it into ice immediately, or anything along those lines. It prevents them from spoiling, and you can transfer the frozen food into supermarkets to be sold. Also, processing and packaging. Processing can be pasteurization or freezing itself. Anything that can maybe add nutrients to it or preservatives, and all of those can help with increasing food production and helping your food survive longer. Packaging as well. You might have canned food, which helps your food last longer, and that increases your overall food supply because not everyone will eat the food as it is produced. You might have it for longer and longer shelf lives. In that case, you have more supply of food and therefore more food security. So this sums up the technology and innovation behind food production. There is, of course, many more than just what I've listed down. But if you want to do some further reading into it, you should, because it's really interesting. But for this, that's all for now. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and bye bye.